Hi, we're gonna go look at the garden today with my assistant. I'm gonna give you a tour of our in progress backyard and garden. We moved in here in 2019 in May, so we've been here 2 years and have done a lot. Just getting this place a little bit more organized. As you can see here where Oscar's standing, this was all grass when we moved in. We didn't know that was there. We're at the bottom of the deck here. We dug out this whole concrete border that was already in there. The bricks were already there. We just didn't know they were even there. And then have since added this. I can do the thing here. This little border kind of thing to level out some of the lawn, because the whole thing is sloped down, which is pretty hard to tell on video, but it is. Okay. So here we are at our herb garden. This has been like the most amazing place apparently to plant herbs. It's kind of on a curve that is the east, so sunrise is over there. So they get about like half a day of sun, but they seem to do really well. I have some lavender that's too far over there, so it has not like in that direction. And there's a lot of weeds. We always have to like pull weeds, which we have a lot more to do. But here we have chives and rosemary and cilantro growing, and garlic and chamomile. And then these are my hop plants that have actually been doing well, minus this middle one. Have been doing really well. It's a big mess under our deck where we keep everything, but they've grown that high really within a few weeks. So yeah, and then over here I just have more lavender and cilantro, and this is all just like a continual project. But that's my chamomile. I'm really excited to try to make my own tea, because I really like chamomile tea, so thought might as well grow some of my own. This little zone over here was here also grown over, like these. We dug all of this out. And have been slowly digging back and adding wood chips. Our huge laurels that we've had to chop down, which is our wood pile over there. And they've already grown. We cut them down, all these ones, 2 years ago, and that's how high they are already. That's probably 8 or 10 feet. Thanks, Oscar. So yeah, we're growing a variety of mint in here for the most part. This is all just peppermint. That's my like original pot over there. And then I started all of these last summer. This is an apple mint and more peppermint. And this is an orange mint, which I actually really love this one. It's so pretty and it tastes like really intense. This is a bomb. We pulled out of the ground. And the kids just got this from my mom, their grandma. Here. Thanks, Oscar. What are you gonna do? Here. You wanna play in your house? And of course I get it ready now as soon as I come outside. Here. That's okay. I'm gonna go in the garden. Can we leave this here? My idea here is to make kind of an arbor thing, entry, and maybe put fencing around, although wood is so expensive this year. I don't imagine anything happening in anytime soon. And then probably more planters around the back. It kind of sticks out that way, and I think we'll put in I'm trying to decide where to put a greenhouse. Might put it up here, but it doesn't get a ton of sun up here, so it's really good for the mint, because the first year we moved here and put our mint plant, that one, out, I think we just had it sitting like down in here. It just totally fried, and it ended up dying, or not dying. I mean, they come back. It came back, but I had to get it out of the sun and water it a lot. It's obsessed with the neighbor's car. I don't think so. This is our garden. We put up, what is this? 7 foot? 6 foot? Yeah, 6 foot fencing to keep the deer out, and that has worked really well. We had a shorter fence, and then we also didn't have a fence at first, and they are in our yard all the time because we have a nice big yard, and they like to just hang out here. So they ate all my plants multiple times last year. And it's also, we haven't put up a gate yet, but this, we just unroll roll it up. And unfortunately, sometimes we forget, and then they get in here and eat everything. So I'm trying to be very vigilant this year. This is my newest blueberry. I have 4 blueberry plants. These ones all were planted last year. I got like 1 blueberry out of it all. So you gonna sit down? Okay. So obviously we got a lot more flowers, and I'm hoping that that works out. But I do know that the birds will eat them. So we're starting digging out kind of more of a border here. So we gotta keep digging that out. And then we'll probably build like a cover. Eric, my husband's parents, are avid gardeners in Hoquiam, and they have some pretty magnificent blueberry plants. And they build a big structure around with netting every year so that keep the birds out. But this one is the newest, and it is a pink lemonade blueberry. So this year I've also grown marigolds, and I put them all over the place. I have had really bad luck growing flowers in the past, so hoping that works out. These are raspberries. We have strawberry shortcake, or shortcake. It's like a bush variety, so they don't have any what do you call it, thorns on them, and they don't need vine, they don't need to attach to anything. They just grow as a bush. And we chopped them all the way back this year. So yeah, they have expanded a ton. They were one little row, and they've expanded that way, and they expanded into the blueberry, which we pulled them all out, put them down here. But even out to here, I moved this back. It was kind of at level of that. Yes, then we have airplanes. So yeah, I'm excited about getting some more raspberries. We did pretty good. The deer ate them so many times last year, it was hard. But even with that, they still kept growing back, so. And then I have a couple of raspberries in pots here that we pulled out. And I have some more different varieties of mint growing in here. Yeah. These are old strawberries. I think they're like the Everbearing Quinault ones, but we took them from our house we lived in before and just put them in here, and it was just those 2 plants there, and they've kind of spread out as well as some weeds. But because the raspberries have taken over, we're just kind of letting them see what happens. No, don't pull the plants out. The first year I grew like anything at a house I lived in a couple of moves ago. I just had like one of those barrel planters with just green lettuce, and it grew really well and it was awesome, and I was like, oh, it's so easy and delicious. And I've never grown it again. Spiders? So I'm trying again this year, but last year they never got bigger than like, I don't know, 3 inches or something, and then the slugs just kept eating them. So what else I've planted in here? I have calendula that I started inside. I just put these out yesterday. More marigolds, more garlic. I have green onions, all the little tiny, I've put them like everywhere. I love green onions, so I'm hoping to get a ton of them. And you can kind of just like leave them in the ground and cut them and come back for more. So I plan to do that. Oscar, don't dig anything up. This is all bok choy.
Dog.
And I put another calendula and some marigolds. I did originally plant onion starts, so I do have like a couple that I'm gonna leave and see, but they don't seem to be doing very well. This is the lowest bed. As you can see, we'll probably expand another one, but digging up grass is a lot of hard work. So we only do a bit at a time. But in here I have more of my flowers. These you can barely see are carrots that I need to thin out at some point, but letting them grow for now. There's little rows of carrots. And calendula, no digging, only out here. I have red onions here, carrots, threw a couple of beans over here, but those are all the beans on that side. These are cucumbers that I was gifted, but I don't know. I have not had very good luck growing cucumbers. I think it just gets actually really hot at our house. So it's really hard to keep everything watered, which is surprising for Grace Harbor. But also it's like they need to be warm, but also like apparently too warm because these just like fried in the sun. So I didn't have a lot of hope. That's why I just planted them close to some other things. What do you got? Don't dig. No digging. Also, I was gonna say that to save money on building we just used the laurels that we cut down, and yeah, we just stacked them up and built little sticks in the ground to hold them up, and then stacked them to save some money. And then a lot of the beds we laid down cardboard, or we put cardboard around the outside edges to help hold in the soil, and that will just decompose over time. We do have a snake, or maybe some snakes, stood up, and apparently they like to lay their eggs in compost. I'd walk out here and it would slither away, and it was fine last summer. I do eat slugs, so reluctantly happy to have it here. This is the raised bed that we pulled out. That is where that pile of dirt was. We're gonna plant it, we're gonna redo it, put it over here. That's our sunroom up there. What do you see? So I'm gonna plant sunflowers in there when we put them in. I have some starts that I will show you inside the house of sunflowers and some other things. Over here is our apple trees. Some magnolia that it was huge and we chopped it down, and then it just kind of regrew, and I think I'll leave it for now. It's pretty. Also, did you know you can eat magnolias? They're petals. These are my peonies, also where I found the seat. There's our snake.
What?
I don't know why the snake's hiding over here. It scared me. Do you see the snake, Oscar? Alright, let's leave it alone. Anyway. I don't know why the snake's hanging out over here. So very far. Maybe it's a new one. That's why we're like, maybe there's multiple snakes. Since we've been seeing them so far apart from each other. Come here, Oscar. So these are peonies that, I don't know, I have not seen any buds, and it might be because these are lilacs that I transplanted. There's one there, one here, and one there. See, there's our peonies. I can't remember what that one is. That's like a coneflower or something. They don't like to be disturbed, as what I'm learning. And since we have been like digging out a lot of weeds, this was all overgrown when we moved in. Did not know we had anything in here when we moved in here. So I've been trying to clean it out, but I also think that disturbs the roots. And they don't like it. So I don't have any peony flowers unless they somehow magically show up, but I'm trying to leave them alone to see what happens. And maybe it'll just take a while.
Walking. Car.
We're not gonna ride the neighbor's car. Here are all of our lovely smelling lilies. They smell so good. No. Also, they spread out like a lot, so that's why we have taken them and spread them up and down the lawn. This is a lily and a butterfly bush somehow intertwined. I really like the butterfly bush. Oh, there's a bee. It smells like honey. It's so nice. It's not bloomed yet. Those are old blooms on there. More lilacs. This is, there's more lilacs all around here that have spread themselves around, and some more peonies that never get very big because they're crowded. And another lilac that was pretty old. We chopped it back, so now it's regrowing. This is my forsythia that I also love and is edible. Also, lilacs are edible, and also peonies are edible. So I don't know if someone intended to do that, but they're also all deer resistant, so the deer don't eat them. Then we have some yucca shrub, palm tree looking things. They get big flowers out of them in the summer. Here, let's jump up here. Okay, well, this is our frost peach. That was a bare root tree. Seems to be doing pretty well. It's our apple tree. I'm a little bit worried about it. We didn't see like a ton of bees this year. And a lot of the petals fell off already, so we'll go get a snack. This is a Wanuchi early apple. I love how it looks with it one stick and so many. Oh, there's your hat. You're right. And then this one is a cosmic crisp. The flowers are really pretty. All behind our garden are blackberries. A lot of them. And we have alders. Our Japanese keats is down there. And that big middle tall tree is an umbularia, which is essentially relative of a bay leaf. It is a bay leaf, but it's a more intense bay leaf, and it normally only grows in California, so for some reason we have one. Where are we going? I don't want to go by that snake, Oscar. are the plants. So these are more of the calendula flowers. This is all basil. They actually seem to be doing pretty well. I've had some trouble with basil also. These ones look good. I've got a couple of cabbages and a couple of bok choys still out here. And peas. These peas I planted at the same time as the ones down in the garden, which is why obviously those ones are not doing as well as these ones. But there's a lot of them packed in here, and I built this bamboo trellis, which I did a little, I mean it's very simple, but I made a video on Instagram Reels for that. And I've got my strings, if you can see them. Just watering these. I put some mint up here. I did have ranunculus and they're done. They're here for the compost now. So I put in my marigolds, mint, which will end up taking over eventually. Calendula and marigolds, but those are annuals, so they'll probably flower and then be done. So since I did have a bakery space for a while, I have this baker's rack that doesn't really fit in my kitchen, and you know, these are really large. These are full sheet baking sheets that don't fit in my oven, so I converted this into my little garden start area. It actually works really, really well. So up here I have corn. I cannot remember what I planted in here. I have one little sprout and I'm not sure if that's just a weed. But yeah, the corn is growing, which is pretty cool. Never grown corn before, but we'll see how that goes. These are eggplants. I think they're called like Chinese eggplants. They're really long and they're the only kind of eggplants that I like to eat. So there's a ton of them. They have to stay really warm, so we're trying to figure out a greenhouse type situation for those because they're not going to grow outside. More marigolds. Yeah, those are all marigolds. These are tomatoes. Oscar pulled a leaf off. I'm gonna water these ones. Here you go. You can water these ones. These are, what does it say over there? Black-eyed Susans are on the far end that have not sprouted yet. These are called Love Lies Bleeding Amaranthus, which actually are growing really well. It's funny because they really want the light, you know, so they, and I actually thinned them out. These are all still standing up. I watered them today. Maybe I'll throw them outside, see if they survive. These are some sunflowers. My daughter got like a little seed packet, so I planted the extras. She had planted her own in a pot and then planted more. And these are the sunflowers I'm growing. Kind of a variety. So that should be, I was bringing water in here, but it's kind of cool because some of them have like a dark stem and some have a green stem. So that will be fun. I'm inside my living room, and this is my other little gardening area where they get some sun in the front window. Our house is really warm, so these are, I've got tomatoes. They're an Italian like Genovese or something like that, meant to make sauces. So I would really like to make my own tomato sauce and can it this year. Got more marigolds, more of our tomatoes, more marigolds, and basil starts that I bought. Where did I buy these? I can't remember, but they were already grown, but they've grown a little bit more. Yeah. I forgot to show my my tomato plant here. that has a chopstick holding it up because it's getting really tall. I need to go plant that. Probably will do it today. But I've been kind of hardening it off. I was hardening my tomato starts in one of these trays like a month ago. But there was some, freezes that I didn't expect to happen. Or I did, maybe, and just like completely forgot about we just forgot to bring it inside one night, and this one actually survived a freeze. Everything else died, shriveled up. And then when I put it in this pot so it could grow, and then 2 other tomato plants also started. If you can tell, there's 3 in here, like total. These other ones are littler. So this is 1, 2, and 3. Last few things I have. Apparently this tent is blowing down here. It's my little farm table for the moment. I do have some more tomatoes down here. I decided to just leave them out and see what happens. I put them all in one pot underneath the table, so they still get light through the glass, but then maybe like a little more protection so not anything all this dried up. Yeah, my brother-in-law brought us over these items, and these are raspberries. These are the thorny kind, so we're gonna need to figure out where to put them because we'll need to have something to hold them up. Cane or raspberries. Did I say strawberries? I mean raspberries. And then it's just some kind of fun swirly grass or something. Then I have succulents. I actually just have grabbed these out of our alley. Like I'll grab a few, and they've just filled out their little pots since last year, and they're cute. And then some pansies. That's about it. Back here though, this is back behind our play zone. Eric's parents just brought us that white tub, and it has potatoes in it. So we have our other compost in our neighbor's house. There's also more things we haven't really dug out. So you can see there's some wood, like kind of a raised bed running around this brick. We have not made it back there. I guess that's all. Thanks for joining me for a tour. And if this is at all interesting or what you want to learn, if there's anything that I could share more about, please let me know. And I'll probably do an update. I'm sure things are going to start growing really quickly. But I'm mostly interested in, seeing how my apple trees turn out and how the hops grow, if they'll end up climbing up there and kind of creating a little shade. So you can see my hops are down below here, so then I have the strings tied up to this, and my hope is that they create a little shade for us in here. Because it is really bright out here. And a little extra shade too from our peas that are growing. That's the whole space.